Hey, this is Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter in Rapid City, South Dakota. We're going to tie an Elk Hair Caddis. Got a standard dry fly hook in the vise, size 14. Put on some brown thread. Start right behind the eye. Start by just slow crossing wraps just to get the thread started. Trim off the excess. And just continue to the back of the hook. Laying down a nice thread base. First thing we'll do is we'll tie in some copper wire. Lay that copper wire so it reaches up about 2/3 of the way up the hook shank towards the eye. Wrap down the copper wire. We'll wrap back to the back of the hook where we'll get ready to do a little bit of dubbing. Put some tan dubbing, synthetic dubbing, dry fly dubbing, some of which you could use a natural dubbing for this if it was like a Nature's Spirit fine natural wool dubbing or silk dubbing. Just something not real absorbent. We'll put on a nice fine noodle of dubbing. You don't need to make the body super skinny, but you don't want it to get too fat either. You can start with the little and always add more with dubbing. Got pretty close to the eye of the hook there, leaving just a little gap so we can tie our wing in. Now we'll tie in some brown dry fly saddle hackle. Now we'll spiral. We'll do one wrap there after we've got our hackle tied in. We'll start spiraling backwards. When we get to the back of the hook, we're going to use that copper wire that's there to wrap over that hackle, catch it, then we'll continue forward with the copper wire. And that wire is going to rib our fly, but it's also going to reinforce that hackle so that it doesn't come undone when a fish's teeth break it. Continue weaving that forward. Try not to trap down too many hackle fibers. And then when you get to the front of the hook, hold that forward with your right hand. Bring your bobbin over with your left. A couple of turns to capture that hackle or that wire. Now the wire is tied off. You can go in and trim off the excess wire at the front and the excess hackle at the back. We've got our hackled fly there. Now we're going to put elk hair tip first into our hair stacker. Take a clump of elk hair, drop that into the tube of your hair stacker. Tip first and then lightly tap your hair stacker to settle those fibers and even them up. Once they're nice and even, you can pull them out, lay them on top of your fly. You want your hair to extend just slightly past the end of the hook. And overextend that body just a tiny bit. Now what we'll do is switch and hold that hair with our left hand once we've got the length that we want. And then what I do for this is you don't want to put a lot of pressure on your first wrap. You want to do more or less kind of a loose wrap just to bundle those fibers, maybe 2 or 3 loose wraps to bundle those fibers. It's going to slide forward on me. Trap it back a little bit. And then once you've got those first couple 3 loose wraps on there, you can apply a little more thread pressure. And we'll just pull. So now we've got our wing tied in. Now that that's tied in, we're going to get just a couple more wraps of thread on there and increase the pressure. Try not to break your thread. Once we've got that torqued down with some good tension, we can go in and trim off our excess hair at the front, but we always do that little trademark thing on an Elk Hair Caddis where we leave a little head off the front of the fly. And now we can whip finish. Right on this head, I'm just going to do a 3-turn whip finish. Trim off that excess thread. If you've done your thread pressure right, that hair shouldn't spin around on you at the front. Now we'll take a little dab of head cement, coat up those thread wraps at the front, protect the fly, make it last a little longer. And there we have the Elk Hair Caddis. I'm Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter. Check out more videos at our website, flyfishsd.com. And you can also buy the materials to tie this and all the other flies at flyfishsd.com.